What's going on, y'all?
Hmm.
My name is King Mo, and we got my homeboy Marty Garabedian on the podcast, I guess. It's a
Yep.
new thing we're doing. So go ahead, break it down to him, Marty.
Well, you can call me AKA Party Marty. That's my name. That's what I go by. You can call me Party Marty. That's what everybody refers to me as. So I'm here as an honor here with King Mo. I've been a lifelong combat sports fan. So I'm basically the armchair champion. So I'm the one that sits on the couch and criticizes everybody and breaks everything down. And Mo's the professional. So it's the professional in the armchair expert. That's basically who we are. So like I said, I grew up watching combat sports. I love it. So anything that has to do with combat sports, I'm all about it. Been watching boxing since I was a kid, MMA. I looked up to you. I know when you did your thing too. You broke my heart when you beat my boy Gegard Mousasi, but I respect you. I respect you, so I have a lot of respect. So it's an honor. We've been shooting the shit with boxing since 2010 on Facebook. So we've been keeping in touch.
Yeah, it's been 15 years.
Yeah, but
It's
off and on. I,
yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah,
I ran into you again. I had you meet my daughter. Fedor's last fight against
yeah,
Bader.
yeah.
And what did we do? First thing we did, we just started talking about boxing again. First thing what happens, like, what's up? Who do you think, Haney or Garcia? So we went from there.
Yep, man. But anyways, let me. Gegard Mousasi is a bad motherfucker though. He's a hell of a fighter. He's a living legend. You know,
Yes.
I know he's doing, he'll be a great coach if he decides to do that. I know he's doing real estate in
Mm-hmm.
Amsterdam, so he's a hell of a fighter and a good guy too.
He is.
So check this out, right? We have the Ring 4 coming up
Yeah.
tomorrow, right?
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah, 2 days. So you want to discuss this card?
Yeah. Let's break it down. Let's start from the top four fights. Let me ask you first, since you're the fighter. Let's get your expertise first. Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. What do you think? How do you think that fight's gonna happen?
Well, first, hold on. First, let's not give it to him too much. Let's talk about the tell the tape. You know what I'm saying? The weight class, the records.
Okay.
Let's discuss that first because we gotta let it marinate some before we start
Okay.
going in. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to inform the masses on what
Yeah.
they're gonna watch and who they're gonna watch. So
All right.
actually, I say let's start with Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus
Okay.
Fernando Martinez.
Okay. Go ahead.
The weight class is super flyweight. It's 115. There are
Mm-hmm.
titles on the line. Jesse Bam Rodriguez is 22-0. 14 of those wins come by knockout. Then we have Martinez, who's 18-0 with 19 wins by KO.
Yeah.
Rodriguez is 5'4" with a 67-inch reach, and I can't find anything on couldn't
He's
find anything
smaller.
on Martinez. Yeah, Martinez is small, but
Yes.
so what do you think? Let's talk about this fight right here. Want me to start first? Or you want to start first?
Good. You're the pro, so let's let the pro, by all means, out of respect, you start first.
Okay, Jesse Bam Rodriguez is one of the top fighters that doesn't get much respect. He arguably has some of the best footwork in the game. He's well rounded. He's conditioned. He's a great trainer with Robert Garcia. He's been doing his thing, man. But then we have Fernando Martinez, who's from Argentina, and you know how those guys from Argentina are. They're
Yeah.
either good punchers, or they're good cardio guys, or they're a mixture of both. And Martinez is very aggressive. He throws a lot of punches. He comes forward. He goes to the body really well. And this fight can go either way because I think Bam Martinez is going to win. I mean, Bam Rodriguez is going to win. But I can see Fernando getting them issues with the pressure and the volume. What do you say?
Yeah, I agree with that because those Argentinians are gangsters, man. They're bad boys. We saw that Lucas Matisse. We saw with Madonna. Like
Yep.
you said, guys, all they know is about coming forward, putting pressure, and that's going to be this fight too. At that weight class. There's going to be a lot of punches thrown, but I think, like you said, Bam reminds me of a smaller version of Lomachenko with footwork.
Yeah.
In and out, angles, keeps turning the guys. So I think his key to victory is avoid a fight inside that phone booth. So he needs to keep turning. He needs to keep turning Martinez, and don't let him set up his offense. Just keep his feet moving. So anytime he's trying to set up and start throwing in the body, move, circle out, and just start keep throwing those combinations. I mean, Bam's been dropped, he's been hurt, broke his jaw a couple fights ago, so I know
Yeah.
he's going to be on his defense. So I think his size and his reach, just fight smart, fight behind your reach, move a lot, use your footwork. I think he's going to stop him late because of that.
And he needs to stay out the corners. He needs to stay off the ropes and out the corners because,
Yeah,
man, Fernando, I've watched some of his highlights, and
yeah.
he does great work when you're on the ropes, and does great work while you're on the corner.
It's
Or
that
the
Argentina
corners.
style. That's what Madonna was doing against Mayweather. That was her game plan. Throw him on the ropes, try to get that shoulder roll off, and throw as many punches to the head and body as you can. You know, that's their style. He's going to want to put pressure and corner him. But yeah, Bam's footwork, slickness, speed, and reach and size is going to be too much, in my opinion.
And you know what? I wonder why Bam doesn't get the respect. Like, I feel like he should be in the top. He should be in the top 5 pound for pound.
Yeah, size, bro. No one watches. It's like UFC. No one cares about anybody under 140 pounds. That's just the cold truth.
Well, they care about Naoya Inoue.
A little bit. I mean, not
They
so
got
much.
some monster.
Not so much. I love Inoue. I'm an Inoue fanboy. But he don't get the love in the States like he does in Japan. That's why he's fighting in Japan. That's why Klitschko would fight in Germany. He's making $20 million a fight in Germany. He's selling out 40,000, 50,000 stadiums. Anyways, making millions fighting in Japan. Smart, you know?
True, true. And he's a great promoter in Honda.
Yeah, exactly.
Staying out there, yeah. So, all right.
That's the thing. That's the thing about boxing, bro. It's a world sport. It's not a U.S. sport.
Yeah, yeah. And right now, as you can see, all the talent is not in the U.S. If
No.
you think about it, the top weight classes that you see featuring USA fighters are I think 154 and
Mm-hmm.
140.
Yeah,
That's
135.
it. No, 135, yeah. 154, 135,
It's the
140.
middle. It's the middleweight classes.
Yeah. And I think 147 too. You can say
Yeah,
147. But 147 is kind of barren right now.
yeah.
It's
I
people.
agree.
We have a bunch of guys still trying to prove themselves, and we're going to discuss 2 guys on this card. They're going to try to prove themselves and show
Mm-hmm.
who the top dog is.
Yep.
All right, so the next fight, Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. And this is for the lightweight vacant WBO title. Lightweight's 135 for those that aren't familiar with the weight classes. We have Abdullah Mason. He's 19-0. 17 wins by KO. Versus Sam Noakes. 17-0. With 15 wins by KO. Now, Abdullah Mason is 21? Sam Noakes is about 28.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the height, Mason's 5'9" with a 74-inch reach. And 74 inches is the longest reach. Like, it's longer than Shakur's, longer than Keyshawn Davis's, longer than Tank's. He has a really long reach.
Yes.
And he's the same reach as Benavidez.
Yeah, for the weight class, he's big.
Yeah. And then Sam Noakes is 5'8". They don't have much information on his reach, but both these men are undefeated. They have high knockout ratios.
Mm-hmm.
You go ahead and break this one down first.
Well, thing about Mason, if you saw a couple fights ago against Johan Vasquez, that exciting fight, got dropped twice in the first round. He's just kind of overzealous, you know? It's going to happen in fights like that. When you step up in competition and you're young, you're going to get dropped. Like I said, Darnell Boone dropped Andre Ward when he was young at 160, you know, and he got up and kept fighting. And then he also got Roy Jones got flash knocked down when he was young too. So like I was telling you earlier, it's about if you got that dog in you, you're going to get dropped and you get your chin tested. It's about can you overcome that and keep pushing. And I think with Mason, it was a good learning experience. And I think with this, he's got to use his reach, like you're saying. He's got that freakish reach like Mayweather did. Mayweather was only 5'8", but man, his arms were huge. His length was huge, so he was able to jab. So Mason needs a jab and box and just keep moving. That's his key to victory.
And southpaw versus southpaw. So that's interesting. I feel like when I look at both these fighters, Abdullah Mason is more dynamic. He's quicker. He's quicker, more dynamic. I think he's a little sharper with his punches.
Yeah.
He's been a pro, I think, about the same. I think 2 years longer than Sam Noakes. I could be wrong. You can fact check me on that. But when I look at Sam Noakes, he's very disciplined with his style. He's very fundamentally sound. Keeps his hands up. He's a pressure guy. He goes to the body really well.
Yeah.
But I think Abdullah Mason is just gonna be too sharp for him.
Yeah.
I think for the first few rounds it'll be kind of close, but I think you'll see the You see the separation come middle rounds. And I think that Abdullah Mason, if he's smart and he's solid and doesn't get overzealous, I
Yeah.
think he can stop him. TKO in the 9th, 10th round.
Yeah, if he's who we think he is, and his skills are, and he's the fighter that everybody's saying he is, he's going to overcome that early adversity. I think that pressure, fight smart, and he's never been pushed in late rounds. That's another question too.
Yeah.
How's his cardio?
He's never
You
been
know?
past the 6, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure he's very mature.
yeah,
Him and his brother, he's a devout Muslim. Him is like they don't play around.
yeah.
He's ready to fight. I'm glad he didn't fight Keyshawn Davis, but I'm glad they're moving him along slow. But I think that the athleticism and the jab and the speed is what's going to separate these two.
I agree. I think so too. Later, I think it's going to come to like you said, in the later rounds, Mason's going to turn it on. Noakes is going to get frustrated. All he knows about coming forward. We've seen that Ricky Haname, what type of thing. All I got to do, the bull versus the matador. If you can use that same game plan, just avoid that pressure and box intelligently. Use your reach. Easy fight.
But I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It could be easy later, but here's one thing
Yes.
you can remember. Sam Noakes is 28 years old, so he's in his
Right.
prime.
Yeah.
And one thing, like when I fought Gegard Mousasi, I was 29, 30.
Yeah.
And Gegard was still young, but mentally I had it to beat him. I had a little more dog in it because just maturity and my competition experience.
Right.
And sometimes that maturity can carry you across the line.
Yeah.
And when you have an aggressive dog-like style, that can help you. Think of it like this: Moses Itoma versus Fabio Wardley.
Yeah.
Because Moses Itoma has the skills. He looks great. He passes the eye test. But how would he do versus a
Man,
dog
keeps
like
coming.
Fabio Wardley, who would just keep coming? And even though he's hurt, he has the mental strength and the capacity to keep on moving forward and keep on fighting.
Yeah.
And that's one thing the younger guys, the younger fighters don't really see.
Right.
Because younger men tend to fold when they face adversity. Where a guy that's mentally strong, like Sam Noakes and Fabio Wardley, could overcome adversity and push and take the fight to the later rounds and then pick it up and try to drown the younger guy.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's the question too. That's why they said, how can you handle that adversity, the pressure going past the 6th round? Is his cardio there? Is his heart there? That's all the intangibles that it's going to be. To see if it be put to test on Saturday.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the thing too. What you brought up. I love, like I said, I love Gegard. That was an issue with him too. Being a fan and hearing about it, sometimes he could be slacking off of here, like in his wrestling and camp and all that. He could be lazy at times. So I think your wrestling and your dog in you was really what led you to victory in that fight. It was a close fight, especially standing. Both of you guys were tired. Both of you
Yeah.
guys were like around the 3rd round. Both of you guys were throwing a lot of punches, and then you just took him to the ground and just kept him on his back, and you willed yourself to victory.
Yeah, because he had a technique, but I didn't really know what I was doing because I was kind of throwing to the wolves kind of fast. But
Oh, really?
Abdullah Mason, he has more fights. He's a good amateur background. Sam Noakes got some good sparring with Shakur Stevenson is what I saw. So that could possibly help him as well for this fight because, Sam Noakes has yet to face a true southpaw boxer.
Right.
The guys he's faced in the past that were southpaw were switch hitters.
Mm-hmm.
So that could play into this as well.
Yes. No, I agree. And again, I think when it comes down to it, great fighters elevate to the competition. So once the competition, great fighters get better and perform better when the competition's steps up. So I think he's going to bring the best out of Mason, and we're going to see the best Mason that we've seen so far.
All right, so the next fight, this is the fight everyone says that this should really headline the card.
Yep.
This is the fight that everyone's like, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Because we have two guys with different mentalities. Brian Norman Jr., Stone Cold Killer versus Devin Haney, the baby Mayweather in a sense. Yeah. So, it's fighting at welterweight, it's 147. Brian Norman Jr. is a champion at this weight class. I forgot what that belt he holds, but he's 28-0 with 28 wins, with 22 wins by way of KO. Then we have Devin the Dream Haney. He's 32-0 with 15 by the way of KO. Norman Jr. is 5'8" with a 72-inch reach. Haney's 5'9" with a 71-inch reach. And it's crazy to see Abdullah Mason had a longer reach than both those guys.
Yeah, that is crazy. Some people are just gifted with that. Like I said, Floyd.
Yeah.
That's what made Floyd so good. His arm length was just crazy.
So we have both men that are undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
One, Brian Norman Jr. carries power. We saw what he
Yeah.
did to Sasaki, Santillan. The
Mm-hmm.
dude could punch. But then we have Devin Haney, who has the athleticism and the footwork and the jab and clinch technique. You know, he jabs and clinches really well and turns you. And he has one of the best resumes in boxing right now. So he has experience at this level. Go ahead. You go ahead and start us off like this if you want to.
Bruh. All due respect to Henry, you're right. He fights anybody. I'll give him that. But bruh, that last fight was a stinker, right? That was his last fight, Jose Ramirez in New York?
Horrible.
Horrible fight.
But at the same time, the whole card was horrible.
Yeah, except for Tio. At least he showed up to fight.
Yeah.
He came to fight at least, you know? He gave us something.
The whole card was lackluster.
It was.
It was one of the worst. I'm gonna tell you something. That night was the worst night in combat sports history. And
It's the hype.
because not just that, but the UFC and Des Moines, Iowa wasn't that good either.
No, you're right. Yeah.
And then the Madison Square Garden card was trash. I was let down. Man, I was actually like I was ready for something else to like that I could wash that bad taste up my mouth because
Right.
I was disappointed.
Yeah, this is the hype and the excitement being in the middle of Times Square. That was a letdown, yeah. And because of nothing, bruh, Ramirez was there to showcase your skills. He was coming forward for you. Showcase your skills. Why are you running around the ring like that, bro? When was the last time Jose knocked anybody out? With all due respect, that was just you're bigger, faster,
Mm-hmm.
stronger, and younger, and you fought like you weren't. That's what was disappointing. So tell me if I'm wrong, but does Norman remind you of a quicker Earl Spence?
Yes, I can see it. But I think he's more explosive with his punch.
Yeah, that's why I think he's a little bit more.
A little
Earl's more kind of slower, methodical. I got Sugar Shane in my mind too when I watch Brian Norman too. When I watch Brian Norman, I see that explosiveness, the head body work coming forward. Everybody said Mosley was like a Mexican fighter because he just came to fight. That was Shane Mosley. He's in your face. He's a dog. And that's why I see with Norman. Norman comes, throws those combinations. He's quick, athletic, explosive, big. So I think, Haney, maybe it was the weight drain issue. Maybe it was, they say, better than me, but they say if you cut weight, does that bother your chin? So you think maybe against Garcia he was this weight drain, that's why he got dropped multiple times? Or do you think he's chinny?
That's a good question. I think just Garcia hit the sweet spot.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? I got Haney on this one. I think Brian Norman Jr. is good, but I think that he's kind of slow. His footwork is kind of lacking a little bit. I think he's a great puncher, but I think Devin Haney moves too well, and I think that Devin Haney can make this a stinker. But
Yes.
there will be some moments in this fight where Brian Norman will touch him, and we'll see what happens. I don't think he'll touch him too clean, but I think Devin Haney's jab will just be too much. I think his movement will be too much. I think his clinch game will be too much. And I think Devin Haney will be stronger than expected. I think he'll probably be able to clinch him up and back him up in the clinch. That's one thing people are sleeping on. I think Devin Haney's stronger than what you think. Because we're so used to it. Because he doesn't carry much power. Kind of like Floyd. When Floyd would grab people and back him up, they'd be like, damn, he's strong. And I feel like Devin Haney will do the same thing. And I'm picking Devin Haney by decision.
That's what the smart decision is. But I want to see an upset here. I want to see Norman become a superstar. I like Norman. He's got that down south swag to him. Got that power, that personality. I saw it today at the face-off. Like I was telling you, I think Norman's serious. He had a straight face. Haney was giving me nervous energy, jumping up and down, trying to psych him out. I think Norman's going to surprise him with that power. We're going to see if Haney can handle it. Like you said, Haney, we all know what Haney's going to do. Jab and move. If he gets in trouble, clinch. Rinse, wash, repeat. Jab and move. Try to throw the right hand when he comes in. And clinch. Kind of like what Bernard Hopkins used to do, but not as exciting or fun. Not as intelligent either.
But here's another thing though. That jab, I can see the jab causing issues and causing swelling.
Mhm.
Because it's not like Brian Norman has the best head movement.
No.
And sometimes like his movement isn't that good. And I think the fact that Devin Haney's lateral movement and will give him issues, and he'll be able to turn Brian Norman throughout the fight, and even clinch and turn him. Because brother Fareed Samad, who's a mentor of mine,
Mhm.
as a man I respect, he's actually helping. He's in Saudi Arabia right now with Devin Haney.
Oh
So is
wow.
Mickey Bay. So is Mickey Bay. So he's a good team around him.
Has that been Haney been doing that though too? No, no, I'm no disrespect to what I'm saying to your mentor, but isn't that what Haney's dad been doing? They've been going around like 8 different gyms in his career. They just can't find. They go to London, they go to L.A., they go to Oakland, they go to um, Houston. So
The last fight he trained with Shane Mosley at Big Bear.
yeah,
Brother Fareed had Devin Haney earlier in his career when they were going to
uh-huh.
Mexico, like
Yeah,
years ago when I was living in Vegas. So,
right,
and before that, David Sample was working with King David. King David Sample was working with Devin Haney, and then from there they went to Brother Fareed, and
uh-huh.
then from there they bounced around. But Fareed Samad's a great tactician,
Yeah.
and he'll find a way to win. But at the same time, I like Brian Norman's mentality because he comes to fight. He
That's the
takes.
thing, Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's the thing, as you know, a trainer can only do so much. You implement the game plan, the fighter has to get in the ring and do it. So we'll see. That's why I said you like Haney. That's a smart decision, but I'm going with the dog. Something about Norman I like. He's got that young Shane Mosley, Earl Spence in him, so I'm going with the dog
I
by
like Brian Norman. I,
by
I
decision.
can't lie.
What's that?
I can't lie. I do like Brian Norman Jr.
Yeah,
too. I
yeah,
just feel like Devin Haney's experience, man. He's fought way higher caliber opponents. Lomachenko. Um, he fought Linares, Cambosis twice.
yeah,
He fought Regis Prograis. I mean, he's fought Regis Prograis. Granted, he doesn't move as well, but and not as big. But he has the same similar style to Brian Norman Jr. Minus
yeah.
his stiffness and the size.
Didn't Haney blow up to 165 that night when he fought Regis Prograis?
He's pretty damn big. That's why I think
That's
he's a big,
crazy.
yeah,
That's
crazy. Yeah,
crazy.
pretty damn big. All
Yeah.
right. So the final fight of the night, we have David Bandeja. What's it called? Bandera Roja.
What's that?
What's his fight name? The red. Actually, no, the Mexican Monster now because it was the
Oh
red.
yeah. I didn't know
Yeah,
what it was before.
David the Mexican Monster Benavidez
There
versus
you go.
Anthony Yarde. This fight will be taking place at light heavyweight, which is 175. We have Benavidez, who's 30-0, and 24 of those wins come by KO. And we have Anthony Yarde, who's 27-3, with 24 of those wins by KO. Benavidez is 6'2 with a 74.5-inch reach. Yarde is 6 foot with a 72-inch reach. So you can go again, go again. We'll go again. Go
Let me
start
go
it off.
again.
Yeah,
All right.
start it off. Yeah.
Hey, both men have been dropped in their careers, so and they both, albeit Yard, when he got dropped, he got stopped in his fight. And Benavidez, won his fight against Morel. So I think it's going to come down who's got the bigger dog in him. And I think Benavidez is the bigger dog, in my opinion. I think he's going to catch him late in the fight. He's going to overwhelm him. So I say about 9th, 10th round TKO Benavidez.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I just think Benavidez has to watch out early because Yard can punch.
Yeah,
Now the people that's beaten Yard, Lyndon Arthur,
yeah,
Kovalev, Prime Kovalev, and
hmm
the true monster, Bitter Biev. So
yeah,
Bitter Biev stopped everybody damn near besides Bivol.
yeah,
So when they come down to it, I think Benavidez has fought better people
hmm
on a more consistent basis. But I think Yards, he's could be dangerous early, but I just think that he's a little older now. I think Benavidez will outwork him.
yeah.
I think Benavidez will touch his body, and I believe Benavidez will break him down by the 11th round and stop him.
Yeah, I agree too. You said you saw him recently. It looks like he's kind of drawn out, so maybe
Yeah,
his weight.
well, I just think that like for someone that moved up to see your eyes sunk in and your cheekbones showing,
Yeah,
and it tells me something, and then to hint that you might go up to cruiserweight to fight Gilberto Ramirez tells me something too. Because I mean, like
yeah,
I saw an interview with him, I think with the Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo, and he stated he was 200 pounds at that time.
dang.
So I mean, cutting about 20 something pounds to make 175.
Yeah, he's huge, and not to speculate or anything, but I saw a recent video of him. He was talking about Triple G, and he was doing the same forearm exercises Triple G was doing with the dumbbells to get strength. But
Yeah,
man, his facial expressions, what he's doing, I don't know if he was hanging out with with what's his name, heavyweight. This guy
just a
got caught
partner,
with.
just a
Yeah,
partner.
sorry, my bad. Joseph Parker. Yeah, Joseph Parker's hanging out with Tyson Fury with that cocaine. I don't know. And your boy Benavidez been caught with cocaine too. So I don't know. We'll see. Because he looked like he was tripping out. So
Really?
I've been around some people, so I know when someone's doing that nose candy.
Yeah, because
I'll send you the video.
it's in the video. But I'm a like Benavidez is one of my favorite fighters. Him, Abdullah Mason, Richardson Hitchens, um, and let me see who else is out there. I like Jalalov. I like
Yeah,
Usyk. A lot of fighters I like, but just Benavidez has the. I think he's shown the most dog out of all of them right now. He's a true dog because he comes forward, implementing the true Mexican style, and he throws those hands and lets them go in combinations. He has some of the fastest hands in boxing right now. I love watching him throw. I like the way he puts his punches together, and he's a dog, man. When he sees blood,
hmm
and he's like a shark in the water.
but does he beat Biv or Beaterbiff after this fight?
You know what? I think he could beat them. I think he can because I think that probably Tom's undefeated, and I think B-Ball might be a little harder, but I think that he could get B-Ball issues because he throws in combinations. And I think Bitter Biev's a dog with the knee injury and the age,
Yeah,
and he's not as active. He fights what once a year.
yeah,
He's the Russian. What's he Chechen? He's the Chechen Tank Davis.
he is a Chechen. Tank Davis. Yeah, once a year. Yeah, I agree. I think he takes. I think he can beat. I agree with what you said about Bivol. I don't know if he can beat Bivol. Bivol with that style, he's just in his prime right now. And beating Beater I think he beat Beater twice, in my opinion. So I thought he won the first fight.
The first one was close because
Yeah,
just the way his reaction was to those punches and his face
yeah,
was still marked up, even though he was blocking those punches. The damage is still shown.
right.
And he just came off a knee surgery, right? He had knee
Yeah,
surgery, right? So I mean,
yeah.
how would that affect his movement?
Well, Bivol's coming off surgery too. I don't know if it's knee or shoulder. I thought
Okay, I thought it was knee, but it could be
you might be
shoulder.
right. You might be right. I know he did have surgery after this fight, second fight. So that's why the third fight got pushed back.
Yeah, but Benavidez, the fact that he's willing to challenge himself, I know he didn't get the Canelo fight, but the fact he's willing to challenge himself versus, we'll see. He's willing to say that he wants to fight those guys, but then
Yeah, yeah,
but here's the thing: saying and doing are two different things.
yeah.
And he said he'd fight Bivol. He said he'd fight Beterbiev. Then he mentions Gilberto Ramirez at cruiserweight.
Right.
And you just don't mention a whole different weight class for no reason.
And the weakest guy in the division, in my opinion.
But it's only like who else is there besides Jai Opataya?
That's it.
Yeah, and
Everybody else is retired.
and honestly, Jai might go to heavyweight.
Yeah, he needs to. Well, they
And
got the other weight class too. I don't know if there's much. Bridgerweight.
Bridgerweight's, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Bridgerweight's dead. You
yeah. I
know,
don't know why they even crave that. It's just for more money, bro. It's
yeah,
just
for more money.
yeah,
But at the same time, like if it could be established, but I don't think it'd be established in America. If it's established, most likely it'll be like super middleweight.
yeah.
And history's shown super middleweight is usually bigger in Europe.
Right.
Australia, you have Anthony Mundane, you have Svet Aki, Darius Makachevsky was at 168, 175. But there are those weight classes are full of European and
Yeah.
Australian names.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, the history of boxing, 168, 175. I mean, when you had the Super Six, it was mainly European
Yep.
fighters.
Super Six was oh man, man, Super Six was a great tournament.
That was
Great tournament.
I was torn because I love Andre Ward and I love Arthur Abraham. And I'm like, Abraham's too small, but Abraham's a guy. That's the problem about Armenians, man. We can't find a good weight class because we're either too small or too big. You
That
know?
guy could punch. Boy, he could punch.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow, he could punch.
yeah,
He was a fierce puncher, boy. Arthur Abraham didn't fuck around.
yeah. When he broke his jaw against Miranda in the third
Yeah,
round, he went 9 rounds with his jaw hanging
yeah.
off his face.
And Edson Miranda could punch too. El Pantera. I used to
The
see him like
Pantera,
in Miami. Yeah,
did
I
you?
see him at Herman Casado's gym, and I'm like, damn, Pantera, man. I remember watching a fight on ESPN. It's crazy seeing these guys like when you meet
Yeah, in the
them.
gym.
Yeah, at the gym, or I met Larry Holmes. I'm like, man, Larry Holmes. I give him a hug.
Yeah, Larry's a beast.
Michael Moore. I see him like he used to come in the house and we used to kick it.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, just
You're living life, bro.
stories. Yeah, it's good meeting those guys, man. Hearing stories and just picking their brain because they have a lot of knowledge that they could pass down.
Let me ask you a personal question about that. I know you transitioned a lot. You went from wrestling, your pedigree, Oklahoma State, a great wrestler collegiately. And then I noticed, you started getting more into boxing. Do you think that might have be a positive or negative for your style? Like because footwork and all that for boxing, straight boxing is different than MMA striking. So did you think it helped you positively or more negatively, like later on in your career, working with Mayweather's gym and all that?
It helped me because in combat sports, the fastest thing you'll ever see
Mm-hmm.
is a boxer's jab.
Yeah.
That's the fastest. I mean, I tell people this like, there's nothing faster in combat sports than a fucking jab from a boxer.
Right.
And there's nothing more embarrassing than getting your head picked off, getting
Yeah.
head suspended by a fucking boxer's jab.
Yeah.
And I just like the reaction, and it reminded me of wrestling because if you think about it, wrestling and boxing are cousins.
Yeah.
Same thing, different mechanics. Because with wrestling, your goal is to control somebody physically. In
Mm-hmm.
boxing, the goal is to control somebody and put them out physically with your hands. So either way, the goal is to put somebody on their back with wrestling. And in boxing, the same goal is to put them on their back.
Yeah.
Different ways
No,
of doing it.
yeah, 100%. When you knocked out Jury, was that already? Were you ready doing pro boxing
Well,
training?
I was training about boxing. I remember like I worked. I didn't. I wasn't sure who Yuri was, but I saw him in the tournament. I wasn't sure he was gonna fight me. I thought he was gonna fight Nemkov. But I remember working on just pulling back and then throwing the right hand on the stop. And
Yeah.
he came at me, and I was like, "This motherfucker won't stop coming." I threw the right hand. I ducked. He poked me in the eye, but I hit threw the right hand and I ducked to avoid the counter. And he poked me in the eye, but I remember seeing him fall flat in his face, and I was like, "All right, thank goodness this motherfucker stay down, stay down." And he tried to
Yeah.
get up. He's trying to get up still.
Yeah.
Yuri's a different type of animal. I feel like if Yuri trained with a pro boxing coach or a solid kickboxing coach and became a little more orthodox, but then mixing his orthodox style together, he'd be more efficient and he'd get hit less and he'd be more dangerous. That's what Pereira. That's how Pereira. Pereira. I remember he was at my house with Glover years ago, and he told me his favorite boxer was Carlos Monzon. And the thing is, if you watch Carlos Monzon throw his punches, Pereira copied his mechanics and everything to a T.
Mm.
To a T. He punches just like Carlos Monzon. And speaking of, we're gonna drop these names, but speaking of the names, we're dropping names. So we're gonna start a show, y'all. We're gonna
Yeah.
start our own type of this ain't gonna be the only time you can see me and Marty Eminem, me and Marty,
I like
Mo and
that.
Marty working together.
There
Because
you go.
we're gonna be doing some type of mythical matchup shows. We're gonna be taking boxers from the past and present, and we're gonna match them up, and we will discuss who wins and why. So it's gonna be something. I've been doing this on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
been talking about who has the better footwork, who's a bigger dog, who has the better jab, and just trying to keep things interesting because one thing I like is I like to pay homage to the old school, and a lot of times, like with social media, we're all about now, 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 but the past is there too, and the past can help the future.
Yeah, you got me heated though on talking about Mayweather though, Mo. You're talking about that. You're talking about Mayweather's loss against Jose Luis Castillo. Come on, baby,
Look,
Mo.
look, Chase, look.
Mm-mm.
I don't believe I like Floyd too, but torn rotator cuff. Floyd fought him 2 months later, I think.
I don't think it was 2 months. A
It was
couple.
it was quick. Look it up. I'm pretty sure it's quick. Let me go box rec
Yeah, go check it out.
because the thing is like if you have a torn rotator cuff, you ain't bouncing back that fast.
That's the thing about Floyd. He's never ever complained other than his hands. He's never like backed out of a fight or complained. So when someone like Floyd said, "Man, I was injured," I take what he says seriously. And you know too. How many times have you gotten in a fight where you're wearing not even like 80%?
No, I believe you, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I think that it's just hard to say like a torn rotator cuff is no joke, bro. I know
No,
this,
I know it's not. Well,
and I see, and what they do is they go in there and they cut. Okay, so okay, no, it was 8 months later.
okay. So I think that's good.
Yeah. I don't know if he had surgery, but I just probably rehabbed it. But I just know this: like a lot of times they stitch that shit back up.
Yeah. They probably gave him some special medicine and he was good to go, bro.
But the rematch was close. Like, the rematch was close too, though.
No. Mo.
Well, if you look at the scorecards, like
Come on.
the first fight, look at the scorecards. The first fight was 116, 111, 115, 111, 115, 111, right? The
Yeah.
rematch was 115, 113, 116, 113, 115, 113.
Let me tell you this, bro. Let me tell you this, Mo. There's no way you got some nerd sitting on the sidelines with glasses on with the with the punch counter, getting every punch thrown by these guys. I don't care
But
what anybody says.
and
Those
it's not about
combat guys.
don't forget, it's not about counting punches. It's about what you see and what you prefer. So
Yeah,
sometimes, but judging is subjective. I know they have rules, but
it
if you're
is.
let's say I'm a like for instance Adelaide Bird, I love her. People hate her. She favors slick boxers. Where other judges might favor brawlers and punchers.
Yeah,
She prefers a person that exudes the sweet science.
and that's what. Yeah, exactly. Like someone like Floyd, but bro, that fight wasn't close. The second fight,
I don't
there's
know.
no way.
The scorecards were close, and the thing is, Castillo throws so many punches. Like he's so active with his punch count, his punch output, and
Yeah,
his volume that it's gonna be hard. Even if you're not landing, the judges can't see everything, but from
right.
TV we can. So if you're sitting on one side of the ring and Floyd has his back turned, and you're seeing him do this, and you're seeing sweat fly, even though you're hitting Floyd's shoulder, and you're seeing sweat fly, you might think that punch landed. Where the person in front of Floyd is behind Castillo might see other punches, and then the person the judge on the other side right here might miss it. So it just depends on where you're at. I'm not sure if they have a
They have
if they
monitors.
they have monitors,
Yeah,
but the thing is like, what are you gonna watch? The monitor, or are you gonna watch the fight?
it's hard. Yeah, I know it
Yeah,
is hard.
you gotta up and down. So I mean, but maybe if they're far away, you can look at the monitor. But at the same time, it depends on the camera angle that's presented at that time. We're on TV, we see the whole thing,
Yeah,
and we have instant replay as well.
right.
Well, now they do now, but
Well,
before,
what I
yeah.
think they should do to avoid like controversy with like we talked about the Lomachenko knockdown, to avoid that, to avoid headbutts and all that, or they should have a third ref sitting out there, or a second ref watching the monitor, and they ask him, kind of like they do
Well,
replays with
wait,
sport with
but
football.
check this out. They do that. They could do that. So here's the thing, right? Because I took Herb Dean's judging course,
Uh-huh.
and what they can do is that the referee, and it happened to me because I cornered the guy, and the referee
Yeah.
could be like to judge, was that eye poke? Was that eye poke? And the judge would be like, no, 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 continue, because we
Okay.
got poked in the eye, and in the replay showed we got poked in the eye, but the judges couldn't see it, and they said no eye poke, so they continued the fight. So it just, I feel like honestly, what they could do is the judging is always going to be kind of thrown off. But what they could do is have five judges,
Yeah.
and the highest score and the lowest score gets cut out. So then the
Mhm.
three average scores you go off three average scores.
Do like one FC scoring system?
When score system is like it's still subjective, like because they score the whole fight just like in Japan.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you like, Where I feel like if you have five judges and they all score, the lowest score and the highest score get canceled out to have the three median scores. So that means that the
Yeah.
three median scores are usually around the agreement.
Yeah. Oh, well, I like Pride's rules. I mean, you can't put that in boxing, obviously, but like to make UFC better, one 10-minute round and two 5-minute rounds, and they judge it off damage, and then there's a yellow card and red card. If you feel like these guys are stalling, especially some of these wrestlers, give them a yellow card. Take some money away from their purse.
Yeah,
Something
but
needs
here's
to
the thing.
change.
But here's the thing, right? In Japan, they're weaponizing that against people. They're getting paid too much.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
weaponizing.
we'll talk about that for another day too, because I want to pick your brain about you fighting in Japan and all that, and I want to ask you about the Mark the Mark Kerr documentary and all that too. So
I didn't watch it. I'm gonna be real with you.
yeah,
I didn't watch it. Like I saw it like 2002, but I was like wasn't
yeah,
really interested. And then the fact they brought it back and they just reenacted the documentary kind of was like weird to me. You know.
yeah. I think all it was is give him a platform. That's all they're really doing. Give him explaining it. I thought it was well done. I mean, I like The Rock, and then they showed some things they couldn't show in the documentary, like how the girlfriend was pulled a gun on herself and all that. So they didn't show that in the documentary.
Yeah. All right, so I guess so. Check this out, y'all. We're gonna do another recap of the fights. We'll do it on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and we're gonna put it out there. But we will do a recap and give you our thoughts on the fights. But this is the pre-cap, and then come Sunday, we got the recap.
There you go. I like that.
All right, y'all. Well, that's been the show. I don't know how long it's been, but I hope y'all enjoy this shit. Share it if you like this shit. If you want to leave comments down below, go ahead and leave some comments down below. We'll respond. And starting soon, I'm gonna start really trying to promote this shit soon. But right now I just make videos just to do it, just to practice. But as we get better, you will see more advertising for this show.
There you go.
Eminem.
We're taking this to the moon, baby.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, enjoy your night, Marty.
All right, you too, brother. Thank you so much, man. It was an honor.
All right, thank you. Honored to chop it up with you too, man. Even though you're wrong a lot.
Only haters think that.
Oh man, I guess I'm a hater. Hate.
Hey.
All
Hater
right,
of the
man.
month. All right, bro.
Take it easy, bro.
You too.
I see.